It's almost as if there are 2 or 3 separate Republican parties competing in Iowa and New Hampshire. The demographic differences among the candidates are so great. Cruz and Trump and Rubio each appeal to very different segments of the Republican electorate. Cruz appeals pretty evenly to everybody across all educational levels, whereas Rubio is basically concentrated in highly educated people. College graduates and people with graduate education are tending to vote for Rubio, and he gets very little support among blue-collar voters. Trump gets most of his support from blue-collar voters. His typical voter is somebody who has not graduated from college, may have attended some college, or just has a high school degree. And when it comes to college or more, Rubio and Trump are very competitive, and Trump doing much worse than he does in the rest of the electorate. The other big difference is gender. Trump and Cruz both get more men than women. Rubio gets much more women than men. Now, of course, men outvote women in the Republican primary by about 5-4, so that's an advantage for Trump and for Cruz. But it's a very interesting development. So the issue in Iowa, of course, is who's more likely to vote. And in a sense, you have Rubio's demographics against Cruz's organization and Trump's enthusiasm level. Rubio clearly is appealing to people more likely to turn out and vote, the better educated voters. Cruz appeals to everybody evenly across all educational levels, but he has by far the best field organization. And because he has the endorsement of most of the evangelical leadership in Iowa, he has a ready-made machine, the same machine that got Santorum and Huckabee across in the last 2 Iowa primaries. What Trump has going for him, though, is huge. He has a lot of people who have not voted in past caucuses or in past primaries, who are now coming into the process because of their enthusiasm for Trump. Most of them are white, most of them are somewhat older, and most of them have not had a 4-year degree. They've had some college or just high school. Think the white gas station attendant and a car repair guy. And they are very enthusiastic for Trump, resonate with him, and he's the first politician they have really embraced in decades. And their enthusiasm is palpably greater than Cruz's people for Cruz or Rubio's people for Rubio. But the process of voting in Iowa is a very difficult one. You don't just show up at the polls and vote like you do in a primary like New Hampshire. You have to drive to your caucus, 15 minutes, half an hour, sit in the caucus for an hour or 2, participate in the meeting, vote, and then go home. It's a long process. You can't do it in the morning on the way to work, as most blue-collar people would want to do. So the dynamics of the process are biased heavily in favor of Rubio, somewhat in favor of Cruz, and somewhat against Trump. But on the other hand, the enthusiasm level, which is obviously a key element of whether you stay and you actually vote and you actually go ahead and get out there, is clearly working in Trump's favor. Thanks for watching.